Welcome to episode 136, the 20th episode of season 6, which is our last episode of the season. Our musical guests tonight are Jeffrey Randle and Kevin Parker. We'll hear some of their music, and we're going to have a little chat with them later on. Also coming up on the show, we will hear all about what's happening in September with the Kidney Foundation Walk. The Nanaimo chapter here is going to tell us all about it. From walking to paddling, we will discover all about the BC Marine Trails Network Association. They are preserving our BC coastal access for small boat users. Good thing, like that. Britain, they've been in the news quite a bit lately. Tonight, we have a British author in-house, and she's going to tell us all about her book, Britain Unravelled, a North American guide to the UK. Maybe she'll let us in on a few little secrets there. As part of our reoccurring Seniors Connect series, we will find out how Mid-Island Abilities is helping to reduce social isolation of our elder adults. It's a good thing too. Promoting education, motivation, and self-esteem. That is what the BC Ambassador Program is all about. We are pleased to have the Nanaimo candidate here to tell us all about it tonight. Happy birthday, Canada! 150th, yay! July 1st, Nanaimo has tons of celebrations that are going to be happening, as well as a musical review. Excellent. But first, we are going to hear all about summertime fun in Nanaimo from our parks and rec guru, right here on the show on Shaw TV.
As you head towards the summer, you've probably wondered, what can I do with the kids in the family? What can I do with myself in terms of some activities? And I've got with me today Deborah Beck, who's with Nanaimo Parks, Recreation and Environment, to talk about a number of special events and ongoing programs. Deb, can you tell us a little bit about some of those things? I guess we start with the one coming up first.
That's right. On Sunday, June 18th, a great way to spend Father's Day. We have Take a Kid Fishing, our family fishing day, and it's happening at Kerilie Dam Park on Sunday from 10 till 2. And BC Freshwater Fisheries, they provide a complimentary license on that weekend. So you can come out and try fishing. We have all the supplies. You don't need anything. You just show up and we'll teach you how to fish.
Well, that sounds like a great deal. And again, that's this coming Sunday,
that's right,
the 18th. Okay, tell us a little bit about some activities that go on for the full family, and this is Family Fun Nights.
Family Fun Nights. So this year we have 3 Family Fun Nights, the last Thursday of June, July, and August in 3 different locations. We have a kickoff, a welcome to summer at Departure Bay Centennial Park, and that is June 29th from 4 till 7. The whole family is invited. July 27th, we have it at Mansfield, and that's our midsummer fun. And then we wrap up our summer at Harewood Centennial Park, August 31st. And all of them are 4 till 7. We have lots of different events happening, lots of community groups that are involved. Barbecue or Nanaimo Food Share is going to be doing some food and just fun activities for the whole family.
Great. And we'll talk about where to get more details later.
Right.
But coming up, summer fun in the city.
Yes, so this is a busy time of year. This is my favorite most time of year. And we'll start off with our playground program. So we have a free summer playground program, July and August. We have 6 different locations. We have it in partnership with the Harewood Neighborhood Association at the Harewood Centennial Park. We have it with in partnership with School District 68 this year at Coltai School and Chase River School. And then we also have it at Mansfield, Danes Park, and Country Hills. So we've got 2 parks in the north end, 2 parks in the south, and 2 parks in the middle.
That's weekdays?
Weekdays from 10 till 3:30, Monday to Friday.
Wonderful. And so there's activities, and there's no charge for that program.
No charge for that program. So it's really fun. Bring your kids down to the park. We provide activities and games. You show up and just have fun with your children. Really fun thing to do.
Okay. Just one thing you have on the posters also, there's a number of water parks around the city.
Yes, we do. We have all of our water parks are operating from 9 till 9, and they're open until September. So check out some of our water parks. And then the other thing that we have going on right now until the end of July is our Golden Bucket Contest. You may have seen this floating around, and we have these at all of our recreation centers. And in them, you will find weekly clues or you can go onto our website, or you can go onto our Facebook. And every Wednesday it moves. And inside you'll have a clue as to where the location is. And once you find the bucket, it looks like this. Inside will be a question that you have to answer and send it to us. And then your name goes in for a draw. And our grand prize this year is actually a trip for 6 kayaking, compliments of Alberni Outpost. Okay. So you have the clue for this week.
The clue for this week. It's a historic jewel in the city's south end. A favorite location for fishermen and swimmers and joggers and off-leash pups, hikers and bikers, kids and grown-ups. So the big clue is we may already talked about this location. So
that's right. We're not going to tell you where it is.
in this segment. So certainly pick that up. Phil, you go down to that site and there'll be a clue there, right?
That's right. You try and find this bucket and it's hidden somewhere in that location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now we move to another one, music, and we've had musicians lead us in, and they're actually playing during the summer concert series.
That's right. This is always a favorite for people. So we have summer concerts in the park through July and August, and we have them Tuesday at lunch from 12:30 to 1:30, and Wednesday evenings from 6 till 7:30. And they happen at Bowen Park Amphitheater or down at Maffei Lions Pavilion. And all that information is on our website, so if you want to know who's playing and where, check out our website and come listen. We have all different types of genre, something for everyone. Really fun time to bring a picnic, come enjoy your evening at the park.
It's a great evening, chance to hear local talent and some great atmosphere at the amphitheater. The details are all on the website. So I think that's great information, something to do overall for the summer. I'm going to just throw it over. Thanks, Deb, for coming in. I'm going to throw it over to Joanne Hogan with a little bit of information about an upcoming walk this fall.
Thank you so much, Brian. It certainly is a great reason to staycation in Nanaimo when you're hearing about all these great events. First of all, I am interviewing 2 persons, but I thought I'd introduce a more quiet third guest tonight, and this is Sydney the Kidney. Now you will see Sydney the Kidney take part in a walk that the 2 speaking interviewees will discuss very shortly. So here with me is Randy Spenceley and Bill Brendan, and they're going to talk about the Kidney Walk, which will take place on September 24th at Maffei Sutton Park.
That's right, Joanne. Thanks for having us. We're here tonight to talk about the Kidney Walk. It's the 10th anniversary for the Kidney Walk.
That's very special, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest fundraiser that the BC and Yukon Kidney Foundation puts on. Mm-hmm. The goal this year is over $400,000. We do our part in Nanaimo. Mm-hmm. We have about 100 participants last year, and we hope to up that for sure this year.
Mm-hmm. And what's the distance, just so people know what if they need to train to go join in on this walk? Or
well, it's 2.5 kilometers, but
okay.
It's a pretty easy walk along the seawall. We do that because some of the participants have difficulty walking. Mm-hmm. So we do keep it to a minimum, but if you do want to do it twice, you can certainly do that.
So people can walk, run, or roll at this event, and it's not going to be too time-consuming an event for you, eh?
That's right, and people can bring their families. We have a lot of dogs that follow along with their T-shirts on, so
it's kind of an informal walk then.
That's
eh?
right.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you and Bill could tell me a bit more about what is happening with regards to kidney disease. What are some of the statistics that you'd have to share about kidney disease?
Well, actually, you know, I've been involved for the last number of years, and I understand it's usually 500 or so people in the province that are severely affected by kidney disease, such they need a kidney donation. And that's a statistic that I always remember, and I don't think all of them get it. And you might elaborate on that as well.
It must be difficult, eh? So I'm imagining 500 people are on dialysis at this time.
actually there's probably about 848
Okay.
on dialysis right now.
Wow.
There's about just over a 4-year waiting list to get your transplant if you're eligible. And so that sometimes people don't make it to that.
Yeah.
So there's a real cry for living donors to assist with the people who are on dialysis.
Yeah, and you were mentioning before that I believe it was that there are 300 transplants that are performed annually in Vancouver, is it?
Yeah, last year there was 268
Okay.
living donor transplants, and we're on target right now. There's about 137 so far up to May, and the goal is probably projected 300 transplants. And yes,
Okay.
they are done only in Vancouver.
Okay. Are there some Nanaimoites that participate in the walk who also have been through transplants themselves? I was going to bring that up. What's very special about Randy and Bill being here tonight is that Bill donated a kidney to Randy.
That's right.
Yeah, so what a story. Tell us about it. How long ago did this happen?
5 years ago.
June the 25th.
June the 25th.
So coming up on your 5th anniversary?
Yes.
That we celebrate every year because
I'm sure.
to me for me, that is a huge birthday.
Yeah,
I got a second chance thanks to Bill.
Yes.
And we always joke around to say that I have Billy the kidney.
Okay, so there's Sydney the kidney, and then there's Billy the kidney.
Yeah, that's right.
What a story. What a wonderful selfless act to do. You were talking about how many registered donors there are in Canada, I believe. You said it was a million?
There's 1 million registered donors for organ donation. If you go to the driver's license, to renew your driver's license, you'll see, used to be where you'd have a sticker.
Okay.
Well, those days are gone. You have to register now.
Yes, I'm on the list too, and I don't even know where I stand on the list.
Well, once you're registered, you're registered.
Okay.
But there's 1 million people who are registered, which is sadly 20% of the population of BC.
Oh, okay. So there's definitely a need for more people to consider becoming organ donors in this province.
Absolutely.
I mean, especially when you see what the result of it is, right? I mean,
Yeah, and I want to put the message forward, Joanne, that I would encourage people to find out about kidney disease, and if a friend or even a member of their family is in need of a kidney to donate,
Right.
that the act of actually doing it is a small inconvenience for the donor. Granted that person is healthy, you can do with 1 kidney just fine. And I say all the time to Randy that it was one of the accomplishments that I was given to provide as a gift, and it's a thing that is not that difficult. And I'm healthy and happy and no difference to me, a few months of discomfort, and hopefully it's helped Randy have a better life.
And what a better way to end this interview than to hear what the experience has been like for you and what the outcome has been for you. So I'm sure it'll show on screen again that the event is taking place on September 24th at Maffeo Sutton Park, and it's an event put on by the Kidney Foundation of BC and Yukon, and Randy is the president of that chapter in Nanaimo. Thank you both very much. And now back to our musicians, our featured musicians this evening, Jeffrey and Kevin. They're going to perform Kindness. And this is Kindness.
Kindness, let me be your slave, and kindness, let me ride your wave, and kindness, let me be for you what you have been for me. Kindness, kindness, let me be your friend, and kindness, let me not pretend to know you and to let you know what you have been for me. Kindness, kindness, let me see your light, and kindness through this cold dark night, and kindness, let me not forget that you are always near. Kindness, kindness, let me kiss your rose. And kindness, let me shed my clothes and hold you, and let you hold me, and never ever let me fall again. Kindness.
Thank you so much. The whale told me so. How many people hear that every day? Not many. But if you're out paddling, you can. Tonight my guests are Paul Gray. He is the president of BC Marine Trails, correct me if I'm wrong, Network Association.
Yeah,
is that
that's right,
correct?
yeah.
And Janice Wenninger, and she's a director. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Can you tell us a little bit about the BC Marine Trails?
Do you want to start or? Okay. Well, it's got two parts. We trails development, so we get out in our kayaks and we do site assessments along the entire British Columbia coastline, 27,000 kilometers.
Wow, that's a lot of coast.
We've recorded over 3,000 sites, and our objective is to create campsites. And then we start to do land applications to the Ministry of Forests or through with BC Parks. The second part is that we're caring for the trails that we create. So, in fact, this week we've got a
kind of a maintenance of the trails,
maintenance or improvements or putting in a toilet or a tent pad maybe.
Yeah.
So,
because a lot of these places are quite isolated, is that right?
oh yeah, it's extraordinary. Some of the sites that people haven't been to.
I bet.
So.
Now you mentioned the Salish Sea Marine Trail. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I'm sorry, it was a little difficult to get out.
Well, it connects, it's the last leg of the Trans-Canada Trail. It connects Vancouver to Victoria, our two biggest cities, and it's 257 kilometers long. In fact, one of our committee members just paddled it, 24 years old, and did it by herself.
24 years old?
24 years old, yeah. And I mean, the picture she was sending in as she's traversing the trail was extraordinary, but it's the last part of the Trans-Canada Trail, which in and of itself is, 25,000 kilometers long. So it's...
Now, speaking of photos, you mentioned photos.
Yeah.
So we brought some photos along that we want to discuss a little bit about.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm not sure what that's about.
That's Blackberry Point, on DeCourcy Island. So.
Jen, do you know? Yeah, you would know.
You
actually took some of these, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've taken some of these, but
Okay.
I didn't particularly take this one. Is this Blackberry Point or is this
Pirates
Cove?
Sorry, it's Pirates Cove on DeCourcy.
This one here is just off of Hornby Island.
That's right.
Wow, beautiful.
And that's a really great example of some of the amazing geology that we see along the, especially the Gulf Islands, both the North Gulf Islands as well as the South.
That's one thing about paddling. You have a totally different perspective when you're down that close to the sea.
It's an amazing place to sit, yes. This one is actually in the Tofino area, the Clayoquot Sound, launched out of Grice Bay and headed over towards the mouth of the Kennedy River. And amazingly, that was a January photo.
Wow.
Yes. And this one here is Hand Island, which is in the Broken Group and is often the first place where people stop when they've launched from Tocourt Bay or Secret Beach or Secret Bay now. And this is a great example of some more of the cliffs along Valdez, more of the sandstone. Very popular spot.
Now that looks like a beautiful place to stop for an overnighter.
Yeah, I think that's Denicio, in the end of Galliano Island, I believe.
Wonderful. Is that, that's all, I'm sorry about that. Now, there's also an event that's happening in September 16th and 17th, is that correct? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, it's a celebration of the S06E Marine Trail. We're inviting paddlers to come from different locations on the trail.
Right.
And they're going to camp overnight on Newcastle.
And
We're going to
it's
have
nice 'cause
workshops
it's
and
local.
speakers and some food, and we're going to celebrate this really big event. So.
And if they want more information, it's www.bcmarinetrails.org, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Paul, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Janice, thank you so much for coming on to the show. And now we're going to Kerilie.
Well, thanks so much for that great interview, Anna. Thanks for watching the show. I'm Kerilie McDowall. Today on the program, author Pamela Brown joins me for a chat about her book about wonderful Britain, the good old UK or United Kingdom. The book is titled Britain Unravelled, a North American Guide to the UK. And I'm happy to hear about this, seeing as many of my family are from the UK. So Pamela, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
So
Glad
Pamela,
to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here with us. Thanks for coming. Now tell me, you told me there was a twist to your book. It's a little different than your typical travel book. Tell me why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote about living in the UK, and basically I've covered all areas of just daily life, like banking, medical, schools, social activities, cultural events, and I have a 38-page glossary of vocabulary and slang and expressions that are used over there, because I found when I went over there, just about everything had a different name.
It's like a different language
It was
practically.
just about like a different language.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why it's different. I mean, I have a little bit about how to get visas, how to get from the airport, how to use the transport, a little bit about lodging. But you know, I cover things like how to drive in the UK. I mean, people don't really discuss that. I was always scared to death when I went over there and tried the first time.
So that's a cultural difference you'll see in the UK, driving on the right side of the vehicle and on the right side of the road.
But it's not only that, it's the roundabouts, it's the amount of traffic, it's trying to follow the signs, it's the courtesy. They have a driving courtesy there because they realize that nobody would ever get anywhere if you just waited for there to be no traffic. So you put your hand out and people let you in, and then you thank them, you know, so. And then there's, you know, there's narrow roads, and so people stop when they see you coming, and then, you know, there's this kind of etiquette of, okay, then the first person gets to go, and then you blink your lights if it's dark at them to thank them, and then they go, you know, there's that kind of thing.
There's a whole sort of procedure about driving, it sounds like.
Yes.
Well, that's really interesting. So may I ask you, what was your inspiration of writing this book? What do you love about the UK that inspired you to write this book?
Well, I guess when I came back after I'd been there for a long time, I would tell people, oh, this is what they'd say in the UK, or this is what they do, you know, or this is what happens, you know, this happens. And so I just started writing it down, and I just ended up kept writing. I kept writing, sort of would cover all these areas that I knew about, and so it just, overall it became a book. And then I thought, okay, well, I got to talk about this, I've got to talk about that, and so
it just developed.
It just, yeah,
and
it took 5 years.
We should mention that you lived in the UK for 8 years, right?
Yes,
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you could just show your book to the camera, and we'll get a close-up there of your book, Britain Unravelled, a North American Guide to the UK. And what can people expect from the book that you haven't mentioned so far?
Yeah. Well, I guess to say, so the North American Guide to the UK, I talk in here about what the differences are. Like when you go to a grocery store, the different things you'll find. Like for instance, you know, there's multitudes of cream. There's double cream, there's double cream, there's single cream, there's, you know, soured cream, there's creme fraiche. So what are all of these? And, you know, you look for eggs, but they're not in the freezer section or whatever. They're on a shelf. You'll try to find flour, and they're only small bags, and little chocolate chips are in these tiny little bags, and you'll find wieners in a jar. And anyway, yeah. So
Yeah,
all of those
different.
what the difference with medical, like when I went into a doctor's office the first time, they didn't ask me for anything. They didn't ask me for a medical card or anything. All they wanted to know was my address. I had to call an ambulance for my daughter, and I was really worried about the cost, but it was free.
Okay, well, I have to
So all
interject
those
here.
kind of things.
I have to interject here because we don't have much time left, unfortunately. But where can we buy the book from, and are there any last thoughts you want to add here?
Well, I just, I noticed a lot of cultural differences there, and I do talk about that in here in terms of their social system and the newspapers, the coverage. And one of the things is I find there that they are really brought together with their media, the TV, radio. They come together as a country and as a culture more than we do. So like things like Big Brother or Who Won the X Factor, whatever, they discuss those on the news. So I really liked that about the UK for sure.
Wonderful.
But where we can find it, I mean, if you're in Nanaimo, I have some copies at McLean Specialty Foods.
Okay.
You can buy it online. It's Friesen Press Publishers or through Amazon, Indigo. It also, you can get a hardcover, softcover, or an ebook.
Okay, that sounds great. We've got to wrap up now, unfortunately. And thanks so much for joining me today on the program, Pamela. We'll hope to have you back and learn more about your future books again. And it's wonderful to have you on the show. So we've got some strange rubbish in his boot, and I'm talking about Brian Sugiyama, or rather a story in his lorry. That's British talk. Brilliant. I'm throwing it over now to Brian Sugiyama with the Upper Island Storm Girls on the show.
We've got to give a shout out to the Upper Island Storm under 15 girls soccer team. These girls are heading to the provincial soccer finals in Langley, July 7th through 9th. And they're going to defend their 2016 title, where they won the provincial championship. We've got a photo of the team. We can bring that up here. It's on screen. This team, and this is their accomplishments: 2015 North Shore Girls Tournament champions, 2015-16 Vancouver Island Tier 2 League champions, 2016 Coastal Cup champions, 2016 Provincial A Cup champions, and in 2016-17 were the Nanaimo Junior Team of the Year. So these ladies are well accomplished. They're heading again, and one of the things they'd like us to mention is that they're doing their big fundraiser, and they're hosting a beer and burger night very quickly, June 17th at the Miller's Landing Pub, and that's information that let's all get out and support these young ladies who have going for the second year running to get a provincial title. So make sure you turn out, support this team, and maybe go down to Langley and cheer them on. So we're going to head over to Jane, who's got some information for you.
All right, thank you, Brian. Go Storm Girls. Today, I want to tell you a little story. In the 1970s, Sister Rosaline Dunn created a program called Phone a Friend. And she did it after reading an interview about a senior who had made the same entry in her diary for 39 consecutive days. No one's called me, no one's visited. Fast forward to 2017, and we have what is now known as the Nanaimo's Seniors Visiting Program. Today, my guest is Kathy Bogel, the Executive Director of the Mid-Island Abilities and Independent Living Society, who is here to talk to us about this amazing program. Welcome, Kathy.
Thanks, Jane. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. So tell me about the program.
So the program has been around for 35 years this year. Our main focus is to work with isolated seniors, and this program is really focused on keeping them at home a lot longer. Not being at home alone forces them into go to care or else to living somewhere else. We want to keep them at home longer. So that helps us build a relationship with them. So we have volunteers that go visit them and builds that extended family. We also have volunteers that go and visit them, and that visit looks like an hour watching a TV show. It could be being a spontaneous road trip. We also have events that we do throughout the year, which is day events, weekly events, monthly events, and annual events. So when we go out, our members, our clients, get to meet other clients. And so this helps to build the network and the web of building a social network. Many of our clients, it's a real huge event to go out. It's a big deal because they are at home a lot by themselves, and the phone's not ringing, like you said, back even from the 1970s. The phone's not ringing, and nobody's knocking at the door. And you know, these are our seniors that have lived full lives, that have had marriages, or maybe they don't have children, and as they get older, they don't have that social network. So this social network, our social network with our volunteers, is just a huge benefit for them to be able to be social and to get out in the community.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the volunteer role? How does a person become a volunteer for the visiting program?
Well, you know, anybody that has any extra time, and that could be an hour in the week, it could be a full-time volunteer position. We have to do our due diligence because we are working with the vulnerable sector, so we do have to have a criminal record check. If you are driving to be a part of the society and wanting to drive our clients to their events, they have to have their driving abstract, and basically we come and do an interview with them. What is their background in the community? Have you had interaction with the community and seniors? That's basically what it is, you know, if you have that heart and compassion and have the time, we always have somebody that we can share you with as a volunteer.
Do you have a story about your volunteering, how this has made an impact in our community?
Well, you know, every client, every person has a story, and it's an amazing story. And it amazes me when I see people that have gone through the war, when they've gone through amazing stories or amazing life. They really have a humble personality, you know. And so I get so many stories, and I can tell so many stories. But, you know, I think I'd like to tell a story that has really, really personally impacted me. We had one lady that was in her early 60s, and she had become the mother of her grandchild, basically. Her son was really struggling with drugs and addictions, and so she had her grandson for 6 years, and he was sort of out of the picture. And about 6 years later, her son came back and basically took the grandson, or her son basically, and she was broken. You know, she had no social network at all. She had mobility issues, and so she'd been in her house for 6 years after her grandson was taken away, with no interaction at all. So when we had she had a referral to us, and we had a connection with her. It took a long time to break that cycle of isolation. She really didn't know how to reconnect with the community. So it probably took a good 2 years to get a volunteer for her to really be involved. So, you know, the story of it ends up that she gets to meet everybody else in the society, and she really reached outside of herself, and it was really difficult for her. And so this was a real main story for me, because I saw her grow from being completely isolated to being able to grow and interact with our members. So the happy part of it is that she did become a part of the community, and she moved away and met somebody and sort of continued a full life. So I really think that our society had a huge impact on her specific life and her really isolated lifestyle she had.
Okay, well, this was wonderful, and thank you so much for coming on today, Kathy, and telling us all about this. If you want to learn more, visit the Mid-Island Abilities Association website. Give it to me quickly.
www.midislandability.org.
Okay, thank you very much, Kathy. So now I'm going to throw things over to Anna.
Thanks, Jane.
Thank you so much, Jane. And with me tonight, I have, I'm going to mess this up, Kevin Parker and Jeffrey Randle. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, the Randle Parker Band, how did that all come about?
Well, actually, I moved to the island from California about 9 years ago.
That's so
and
long.
One day, this guy comes over. He's an electrician. He came over to do some work at our house, and he looked at my guitars and he said, "You play?" And I said, "Yeah, you play." He goes, "Yeah, I'm starting to play bass." And we started talking, and we started working together, and then we said, well, let's add to the band. And I had met Jeffrey at a couple open mics and knew he was a songwriter, and we started playing together. And we were doing covers originally, and we realized we had probably over 100 original songs on our own. So
Wow.
over the last couple years, we've transitioned from being a cover band to an original band.
To your own band, which is
It's
really
90
good.
of Kevin's songs and 10 of mine.
But his are really long. So
He writes
it
songs
makes up for it.
like Gary Larson used to put out those Far Sides.
Awesome.
Like
That's great.
regularly.
Now, one of the places that you play is the Cedar Farmers Market. Now, did you guys actually do some gigs there?
Yeah, we
Is that
played there, I think, the last 2 years.
That's
Yeah,
right.
different in different
Well,
configurations.
and it was actually the first place we played, really, other than the first time we jammed at that open mic you were hosting.
You mentioned the
at
open
the
mic,
time,
yeah.
right? And then I met Kevin at that open mic, and then he invited me to come and play the following month, right? And he said he'd give me a call. Sure enough, did, and went out there, and that's how we sort of started. And we ended up starting. We started off as like the backup band for the Moonshine Mollies. That was our first experience working
Get together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
to speak. But the one in you're gonna be doing Cedars Market July 2nd, is that right?
Yep.
And is there something special happening at the market that day?
Yeah, there's produce and fruit and,
And the Randle Parker band.
grass-fed beef. It's always special there.
It's a
course
really
there
great
is.
market, actually. It's
Yeah.
one of the best markets around.
It is, I've been. It's
And that's a
wonderful.
Sunday, if anybody wants to know. It's every Sunday. It's
Every
from
Sunday.
10 to 2.
And the other gig that you guys are going to be doing is at Bowen Park. And is that part of the Canada Day festivities?
I'm not sure if it's part of the Canada Day festivities, but it's definitely part of the
Parks and
concert,
Rec.
the summer concert series through Parks and Rec.
Which is what
And
Deborah had
that's
mentioned
right.
earlier in the show.
Deborah's awesome. She's had me down there for probably 4 of those now, and we played it last year. But this year we kind of wanted to focus on mostly original music, and last year we kind of did it the opposite, so this year we're going to do it. And yes, it's on the 5th, Wednesday, July 5th.
And now there's also
Well,
a
it's
market then, too.
it's for the entire month, actually, of July, but we're there on Wednesday,
And
July 5th.
it's not just a duo. We have a drummer and a bass player and a very good horn player and vocalist. I think
Yeah.
we'll have for that one.
Yeah.
too,
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a
vocalist.
when
full
you're talking
band.
stuff,
Big
full
band,
band.
yeah.
5-6
yeah,
piece
we're sort of
band,
stripped
so.
down today. Yeah, so to speak.
Now, was there anything that I maybe have missed asking you guys about that you really want to get out to our audience?
Well, there's another gig. We're going to be playing over on Hornby at the Cardboard Cafe, and that's
Heavenly Hornby.
yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
gonna be
is
fun.
that?
It's a
July.
Sunday
That's the
normally,
23rd,
right?
yeah.
This is a Sunday night.
Yeah.
It's July 23rd.
Yeah.
And I can attest, because every time I go camping on Hornby Island, I do go to the Cardboard Bakery
Cool.
for the band.
Yeah,
That's the place.
So
Gotta
that'll
go.
be lots
That's
of
the
fun.
place.
Great.
Excellent. So you guys are going to perform another song for us. It's called Dissolve, is that right?
Yeah, this is a song I wrote a few years ago.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Enjoy.
You ready? Let me burn what remains of a heart that was hardened. Let me dissolve into love. Let me stand and forgive those who never were pardoned. Let me dissolve into love. Let the stream be embraced by the arms of the ocean as it flows from the mountains above. There's a light that time can't touch. I want it so much. Let me dissolve into love. Let me feel what I feel without running for cover. Let me dissolve into love. Let me feel that connection, beloved to lover. Let me dissolve into love. When the darkness descends, let the curtains fly open, yes, and rain down the light from above. I wanna know what I'm worth. I'm just a pilgrim on this earth. Let me dissolve into love.
Show me restraint when I get angry. Show me the living life in everyone I meet, yeah. Give me the tools to feed the hungry and the hurt. My brothers and sisters living on the street now. Show me restraint when I get angry. Show me the living life, everyone I meet, yeah. Give me the tools to feed the hungry and the hurt. My brothers and sisters living on the street now. Let me burn what remains of a heart that was hardened. Let me dissolve into love. Let me stand and forgive those who never were parted. Let me dissolve into love. Let the stream be embraced by the arms of the ocean as it flows from the mountains above. I want to know what I'm worth. I'm just a pilgrim on this earth. Let me dissolve into, let me dissolve into, let me dissolve into love. Dissolve into love. Dissolve into love.
Thank you, Jeffrey and Kevin, for the great tunes. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about pageants. Now, pageants are no longer focusing only on outer beauty and bathing suits, but rather they're more about advocacy and volunteering, education, and building self-esteem. Today, I'm joined by Krista Spivey, a former Miss Nanaimo ambassador who is now in the running and is a candidate to become the BC ambassador. Welcome, Krista.
Thank you.
I want you to tell me all about the BC Ambassador Program.
Like you mentioned, the BC Ambassador Program isn't your typical pageant. Instead, it's a self-development program with a huge focus on public speaking and volunteerism. It's open to young men and women who have previously held an ambassador title in their community. And we get judged on 2 speeches, a personal speech as well as a community speech, our ability to showcase our community by creating a community table, a personal interview with the judges, and our volunteerism within the community.
Okay, how did you get involved in the program?
I first got involved as a candidate for Miss Nanaimo. I saw some of the girls volunteering, I think, at the Silly Boat Regatta, and they looked like they were having a lot of fun, so naturally, who doesn't want to be in a program where you're having fun? I talked to the director a little bit, and I saw how much the girls actually put into the community, how many volunteer hours they did, and that they had to take a public speaking course, Toastmasters. And I wasn't so good at public speaking. Even now, I'm a little bit nervous. So
you're doing great.
So I thought that this was a program for me, a chance to get more involved in the community and to learn how to public speak.
Okay, what kind of volunteering have you done since you got involved in the BC Ambassador Program?
Lots of events at Maffeo Sutton Park, for sure. It's always busy down there. My favorites have been some of the dinners that we've helped put on, such as Run for the Cure and Relay for Life, the survivor dinner we serve there. The Hats and Heels Tea Party at St. Peter's, that's fun too.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about, I know there's something called the People's Choice Award. Tell me about that and why it's important to you.
The People's Choice Award is a bursary for the young girl or young man that gets the most votes from people in their community. It's really easy to vote. You go to www.bcambassador.com and click on your candidate that you'd like to vote for. And the individual that gets the most votes will get a bursary.
Okay. And so what is it you want to do for a career? Like, I know your educational aspirations, that's part of why you're doing this program, because the winner gets some money towards their education, correct? And what is it you are planning to pursue?
Next year I'm taking mental health at VIU, and my ultimate goal is to become a registered nurse. Okay. Right now I'm working at the medicine shop on Departure Bay Road. They are my sponsors for Miss Nanaimo, and I'm working as a pharmacy assistant. So I'm thankful that through the program I've gotten this opportunity to further advance my career.
Okay. Now, I know there's also some fundraising activities that go on as part of this program. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. My biggest fundraiser is happening July 8th. It's a dinner and dance with Canadian and Filipino food. There will be lots of prizes to be won. And the fundraising that we do is part of the program, one of the requirements, and the money goes towards scholarships for BC's youth. Okay. And where is that going to be held? Trinity Church on Spartan Road.
Okay. And where do people get tickets for that?
If you could contact me at spiveykrista@gmail.com to get tickets, that would be great. I'd be happy to see anyone there.
Okay. And you said some of the funds that are raised will be going to?
St. Peter's Parish, as well as the BC Ambassador Program for scholarships.
Okay. Well, I wish you the absolute best of luck. It sounds like what you're doing is amazing. And don't forget, everybody, go on for the People's Choice Award. Make sure you look up Krista Spivey. Now I'm going to throw things over to Joanne, who is getting us ready for the biggest party in the country.
Thank you so much, Jane, and I echo your sentiments in wishing Krista the best of luck. We're talking here to two really hard-working people who are devoted to making you have fun as you celebrate Canada's 150th anniversary. Woo! Imagine us all holding little Canadian flags as we speak. First of all, I'd like to talk to Corey Hostetter. She is the project manager for the Nanaimo Canada 150 Committee. And tell us what you've got planned. You've got a lot planned.
Yes, we've actually been working for 2 years on this project. So from getting the money federally to coming to our local government and to our community to gather the money together to do this project.
Okay.
So a big part of it is the celebration on July 1st, but we also are focusing on promoting the events that are happening in the 10-day period.
Okay.
So starting on July 1st is 10 days before Nanaimo, or Canada's sesquicentennial, and that is Aboriginal Day, National Aboriginal Day.
So that's June 21st?
That's June 21st, and there's a big event happening that's hosted by the Aboriginal Centre at Maffeo Sutton Park.
Okay.
And they'll have tons of things to do and lots of activities for kids, and they're having a salmon barbecue with bannock as well.
Okay, okay, you've sold me on that one for sure. I really love salmon,
Yeah, and then on the 24th, the Multicultural Festival, which is a tried and true event that happens in Nanaimo, is happening on Wesley Street, and that's from 10:30 until 5, and the lots to do and see, activities, interactive booths, multicultural food, lots of things for the kids. So always urging people to go down there and take part in that as part of the 10-day festival.
Of course, Canada is all about diversity, right? So,
it is.
Yeah.
And then it comes to a crescendo on the 1st, and that's when we're having 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. party in Nanaimo. And we invite the community and everybody else to come and enjoy. We've got tons of things to do. Lots of other organizations in the community have come to participate. So we've got the Shaw Kids Zone, and there's going to be tons of things to do there, and we hope that people will enjoy it. There's going to be lots of extras. You're going to see people giving away roses. There's going to be people giving away different Canadian memorabilia, and so that's something extra for people.
And there'll be fireworks, of course, right?
There will be fireworks, and that is to top the night off. But from 6 till 10, there's going to be the Canadian Celebration Show, the 150 Canadian Celebration Show. And this is a big show. This is featuring a ton of local artists. We have a 60 voice choir that's going to be singing Canadian songs. It's choreographed locally. It's going to be a great event. We want people to come down, bring your lawn chair, and bring a blanket early because you have got to get your place earlier.
And all these wonderful events are itemized at Nanaimo150.com. Is that correct?
They are. Nanaimo150.com. And we also have heard from the RDN that they're going to be giving free service routes that day from 9 a.m. until 12.
Well, that's very good for the community as well, eh?
Yes, it is.
So you've told us about the 21st of June to July 1st inclusive, and now Katie Bowen-Roberts is going to tell us about something very special that the Nanaimo Committee has built as a legacy event that's going to be coming up.
Yeah, we're really excited about this new musical. My name is Katie Bowen-Roberts, and I'm the producer of the musical, and I was also part of the creative team, along with Jessica Lowry, our director and writer, and James Mark, our music arranger, composer, and director. And the three of us have been working on this for a year now, since May 2016. We're really excited to be celebrating Canada's 150 with this legacy project, and hopeful that this is going to be a legacy for Nanaimo and continue to play year after year.
And what is the name of this? It's a really good title.
The name of the show is called Blackstones and Bathtubs, a musical review of the town you never knew. And to give you a brief synopsis, I wanted to tell you that the show is about 4 tourists who are lost in a fog of Nanaimo bars, and they miss
We've all been
the
there.
departure of their cruise. That's right. They miss the departure of their cruise in downtown Nanaimo and find themselves in a storm, and the storm transports them into a dream. And in this dream, we explore Nanaimo's past through music and dance. And
so you can find out more about this at blackstonesandbathtubs.com.
Correct.
And this is put on by the same folks who put on the Yellow Point Christmas Spectacular, if I remember correctly.
That's
so
correct.
You know this is going to be a quality presentation. So thank you both so much. I don't know how I'm going to be able to fit all of this in, but I definitely want to do my best to see as much of this as possible as we celebrate Canada's 150th, right?
You know, speaking of Canada's 150th, we were talking earlier about a song. Canada.
Okay, a little faster. Oh. That's the Centennial song. We love you. Does anybody else remember this, or are we all too old for this?
I remember singing that when I was a kid.
It's the 100th anniversary of Confederation.
I'm gonna have to learn this song.
You will for the 150th.
I'm hoping to be around for the 200th as well.
Yeah. That's positive thinking.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies. That was awesome. And thanks not only to the ladies, but also I would like to thank all of our guests and our hardworking volunteers and staff, not only in front of the camera, but also behind the scenes. Find Shaw TV on our Facebook page, facebook.com, the show, Shaw, and check out our previous episodes on YouTube. You can also check out Shaw TV Twitter page and Shaw TV Nanaimo. And there's links to the program for us. Now, if you have an event, a cause, demonstration, or an issue that you'd like to bring to the show, please, we're always looking for island fun things that are happening on the island. You can contact our executive producer, Kelly Robinson, and you can reach her at kelly.robinson@sjrb.ca. And if you want to volunteer for the show, you can contact Melissa Hall. And Melissa's email address is melissa.hall@sjrb.com. And before we go, we have one more song from Jeffrey Randle and Kevin Parker, and it's called Hillbilly Hammer. Cheers, and thank you for watching the show.
All right. Yeah, all right. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're not home. I'll leave this message on your phone. I just called to say my truck is stuck. My mule is gone. I'm plumb out of luck. Well, that was all just one big lie. Call me back, I'm gonna tell you why. Sitting around, I got bored. I got thinking to myself, oh my Lord. And the whole damn reason for the song was the need of my hammer ain't putting you on. I'd call him up and I'd get all silly. Redneck talking to an old hillbilly. I say, how do I pound a nail with a hammer? How do I cut some wood without a saw? How do I cram something without a something? Crammer's like trying to smile without your lower jaw. Well, I needed to get his attention, but he lives way out in extension. So I rolled one up and I got real stoned. I wrote some words, picked up the phone. In 20 minutes, called me back. I said, boy, you just got your first track. You're gonna be famous like P. Diddy. Inside I got all warm and giddy. Well, maybe not. That's crazy. Besides that, I'm too darn lazy and I probably shouldn't have smoked. Once I did, I forgot the point. Which was, how do I pound a nail and a hammer? How do I cut some wood without a saw? How do I cram something without a something? Crammers like trying to smile without your lower jaw. Give me some guitar. Get nothing done, but I figure I gave it a good run. I grabbed my hammer, put a hole in the wall, not real pretty, not real small. So I sat down to contemplate, fix the hole or celebrate, and I chose a ladder and I drank 9 beer, and dang, if the hole didn't disappear, that was a lie, cause the hole's still there, but I got me a song, I got my hammer, can't go wrong. I'll make more holes, I have no fear, maybe I'll just drink more beer. 1, 2, 3. How do I pound a nail without a hammer? How do I cut some wood without a saw? How do I cram something without a something? Crammers like trying to smile without your lower jaw. How do I pound a nail without a hammer? How do I cut some wood without a saw? How do I cram something without a something? Crammers like trying to smile without your lower jaw. I shouldn't have said anything there. Thank you.